At the beginning of the 2022 season, Leclerc and Verstappen appear to be the main title contenders of the 2022 season. But now the face of the game has changed, with the joining of Sergio Perez for the championship battle as well. Leclerc debuted for Ferrari in 2019, and since then, he is driving for the Maranello-based team as their #1 driver. Charles Leclerc and Max Verstappen are battling against each other ever since they were in the go-kart category. The list of battles together is long. In karting, we had a lot of conflicts, really a lot. We were racing together for like 4 or 5 years, and every race we were fighting for wins, and obviously loads of things happened in karting. We were also young and crazy, and we hated each other at that moment. They have 2 different styles, said Leclerc. Max is a bit more on the aggressive side, Lewis a bit more on the clean side. It's nice to be fighting with both of them. Lewis is always very clever in the way he positions his car to put you in a difficult situation, and he most of the time manages to make the pass in a clean way. Max is a little bit more aggressive, but I enjoy racing with both, and if anything, I quite like fighting with Max, because it's always really on the limit. We have both realized our dream to be fighting in Formula 1, so the relationship has changed since then. I think we both look back on these years with a smile on our faces, continued Leclerc. We basically did all our karting years together, and we were both dreaming of one day arriving to Formula 1. And now it's the case, and we're also fighting for the championship. It's really cool. I like to fight with Max. It's always on the limit, and I really enjoy it for now. I hope it can stay like this for the rest of the season, and hopefully, we'll be able to improve the car throughout the season to stay with them for the fight in the championship. Alpine driver Esteban Ocon fought for many championships with Verstappen during their young age, and the most memorable one is in 2014 when both of them fought for the Formula 3 championship. I think the first time I raced with Max Verstappen was in 2010, Ocon wrote in a column for the official Formula 1 website. It was a tough year for me transitioning into international racing. Karting is very tough anyway. I was alone with my dad pretty much fighting the big teams. Max and I were always quite close on track, and sometimes it came too close. In 2011, we were fighting for the 2011 World Series Championship, WSK Euro Series, K3 class, and he won in the end. I remember a race in Italy, I came out on top, but me and him were a long way ahead of the rest. It was a rivalry which started then, and it soon became even bigger. Esteban Ocon won the 2014 Formula 3 Championship, but he was without any kind of contract for the next season. But Verstappen, who completed the season as 3rd in the championship, got a direct promotion to Formula 1. Ocon said, "I won the title in Formula 3, but the tough moment for me was that Max had signed a deal to race Formula 1. Well done to him, definitely, but when I saw the news, it was difficult to swallow. He was 3rd in the championship, I was winning, and I didn't have a seat in any category at that time. I did a few tests in GP2, but there was nothing really confirmed. The Lotus F1 Junior program had difficulties at the time, and I wasn't going anywhere, so it was quite a challenging moment. But I used that as motivation. I knew I had to work hard and keep on top of the junior categories if I was going to make it to Formula 1. It was my ultimate target, not necessarily wanting to face Max again, but rather joining him in Formula 1. Max Verstappen partnered with Daniel Ricciardo for over 3 years since his debut season with Red Bull Racing. But during that period, Red Bull was out of contention for championships as their challengers were not strong enough to fight against Mercedes or Ferrari. But both of them were able to secure some victories in Grand Prix, and the rivalry between the teammates was high in that period. At the moment of the 2018 season, Daniel Ricciardo moves from Red Bull Racing to Renault, citing that the Red Bull administration favors Verstappen over him. "When I think of the teammates, I definitely think of Max," Ricciardo told media when asked about his previous in-team partners before Lando Norris and McLaren. He's the first one that comes to mind because he's the longest teammate I've had in Formula One. I think we pushed each other for better or worse. Whether it was a heated rivalry or a respectful intensity, we got the best out of each other. We both thrived off of it. Teammate is a very interesting term for it," he added. "That's what they are, but they're not really mates when you're teammates. So like with Max, sure we had a rivalry, but I think we always respected each other. But there was a bit of a lid on our relationship as teammates. But when I then moved on from Red Bull, and I felt like because we weren't directly competing with each other, we were able to actually form a better relationship. I think we just really respected what it was, and then we moved on and we were just a little more easy to get along with." Sergio Perez joined the Red Bull Racing at the end of the 2020 season as the replacement for Alexander Albon, who was unable to match the performance level of Max Verstappen. After Daniel Ricciardo's sudden exit at the end of the 2018 season, Red Bull Racing administration had the most difficult task of finding a suitable teammate for Verstappen. First, they tried Pierre Gasly, who was a product of the Red Bull Junior program, but he failed to match with Verstappen, and they tried with Alexander Albon. But none of the replacements worked according to their plans, and the Milton Keynes-based squad looked for options outside the Red Bull Junior program. Sergio Perez lost his seat in Racing Point for Sebastian Vettel as a part of the restructuring of the team, as Aston Martin at the end of the 2020 season, and Red Bull Racing signed a one-year deal with him. "There is no other driver that is at one with the car like Max is," Perez explained in an interview. "He's been at Red Bull for a long time, and you can see that straight away. You still see some weaknesses with other cars, with other drivers' cars. But Max, the way that he's at one with the car, I don't think there's anyone that compares to him in that regard. He's really, really into it. He's at a very high level, as we can see, and I think I have a tremendous benchmark with him. I see it as a very positive thing," Perez continued, "because you have a fantastic benchmark on him since FP1. You have a great reference to him to lead up to great results. Ultimately, as a driver, you want to be working with the best, and I think right now he is the best in Formula One." Sergio Perez was assigned to play the wingman role for Red Bull Racing for the 2021 season, and he played his part very well, defending Verstappen's main rival, Lewis Hamilton, in several occasions, opening the chance for Verstappen to win the race. When he was questioned on whether he'd rate Verstappen as the best in F1 and better than himself, Perez added, "I think if we discard myself, yes. I have to accept that. As a driver, you have to be realistic, and he's at a tremendously high level. The way he drives this car is, he's just at one with it. It's years of experience with it, and he's at a very high level," Perez added further. Carlos Sainz debuted with the Toro Rosso F1 team in 2015 as a product of the Red Bull Junior driving program. Then he moved to Renault F1 team in 2017 as he doesn't see any opportunity for a promotion within the Red Bull senior team. Then he drove for McLaren as well before partnering with Leclerc in Ferrari for the 2021 season. This year's championship is still open for both Red Bull and Ferrari, but Carlos Sainz is still unable to find his rhythm with the all-new F175. Actually, Carlos Sainz was the first teammate of Verstappen when both stepped up to Formula One with Toro Rosso. In an interview, Carlos said, "Everyone thinks me and Max hate each other, and that's absolutely not the case. Many fans, when I go to autograph signings, they keep asking me about Max and what's the relationship. Even my friends keep asking me about Max and the relationship we had. We were having fun that year, I promise. We had a lot of fun out of the track. In the track, we were extremely competitive. We knew we were battling for our careers, for our Formula One pedigree in our first year, rookie season, and I got on with him a lot better than what people think." When media questions about his impression on Max Verstappen, Carlos said, "I admire his ability to be fast in every situation, the courage he shows in trying his own way, a critical overtake. I don't dislike anything. It's best to say so, otherwise you'll have a catchphrase." Still, the 2022 championship is open for many drivers, and let's see whether the reigning world champion continues his form throughout the 2022 season as well.